White Hart Lane in London tonight hosts a testimonial match for Peter Shilton, England's outstanding goalkeeper for 20 years. Shilton plays in goal for England. Lined up against them, some of the greatest names world football has on offer. Miller of Cameroon, an injured ankle, but he plays. Michel Platini, boss of the French national side. Franz Beckenbauer, a World Cup winner, both as a player and a coach. Gascoigne and Lineker, the old and new faces of the England team. Hello, welcome to White Hart Lane. That will give you some idea of the stars, both past and present, on view tonight. They may have come from different parts of the world, but they have one thing very much in common: their respect and admiration for arguably the finest goalkeeper in the world over the past 20 years. Peter Shilton has been performing footballing miracles for a quarter of a century.
This is Souness, now Rush, and heroics from Peter Shilton.
Back in his school days, Shilton replaced the legendary Gordon Banks in Leicester City's goal and set off on a career that was to include 5 English clubs and a world record 125 caps for his country. The youthful Shilton appeared in the FA Cup final when the Beatles were still together and England were soccer champions of the world.
Some of the advancing at that far post. And so it's Bill! Oh, beautiful header! Beautiful save!
An England debut in 1971, his genius was now flowering on an international stage. The barrier was well and truly up for the world's top strikers. That agility has been maintained down the years by his dedication to training. His most successful spell at club level came in the late 1970s when he joined Nottingham Forest. He helped them to the First Division Championship.
And here's Hoddle, can he do something? Oh, and he very nearly caught Shilton out! Wait a minute, that's a good shot, and that's a brilliant save by Shilton again. To our dealers again, the red shirts are encircling him. Peter Taylor trying to get a 1-2 going, and again Shilton to the rescue.
Well, I personally feel, but you know, it's only opinion, obviously, that he's the best goalkeeper in the country.
Clough and Shilton then conquered European Cup in successive years. Then there was a spell at Southampton. And then on to his current club, Derby County. The end product's just the same.
Early cross from flat. Cascarino! Oh, it's a great header. Callahan follows in. And Shilton produced the sort of save that we've come to expect, really.
At nearly 41, he was still England's #1 at the 1990 World Cup finals. England finished 4th. Shilton retired from international football at the end of the tournament. One of the truly great figures to grace the world's most popular game. Peter, what does tonight mean to you?
Well, obviously it's a very special evening for me. You know, I've played 20 years with England. Farewell match. It's got to be something special, you know. I think, you know, I feel like crying sometimes, but I'm sure I won't. No, I mean, all the players have come along and given the services free. I mean, they've travelled from all over the world, and all the England lads have come along, and, you know, I'm very grateful to them, and just hope we get a decent crowd and a good atmosphere.
You've made it very difficult for you to be replaced in the England team. If you're going to pick out one goalkeeper in the current England squad to perhaps go on for the next 20 years, who would that be?
Well, it's very difficult for me to say. I mean, especially as being the goalkeeping coach now. You know, obviously, all the lads that are involved with England at the moment, Chris Woods, David Seaman, and Nigel Martin, I mean, they've got good competition there for the places, which is what it's all about. And it's up to one of them to establish themselves. I mean, Chris is in there at the moment, but I'm sure David's going to push him hard. And Martin, obviously, has gained experience, and, you know, he's going to be working hard to try and take both of those back. So that's got to be good for England.
Well, Peter, enjoy the evening. Coming up after the break, Peter Shilton's testimonial game. Will be back in a moment. 20 years, Mr. Peter Shilton. to be presented with a very special shirt, courtesy of promotions manager Simon Marsh, to represent the fantastic work he's done in an England shirt. And as Peter takes the field, let's now cross to our match commentator, Ian Dark.
Peter Shilton, a model of dedication, technique, application, and a very nice man as well. Coming out to a very well-deserved testimonial night, a sentimental night, an emotional night for him, his last playing in any kind of England 11. And it'll be strange to think that in the years to come we won't see the familiar figure of Schultz in an England jersey. And even though it's a cold and frosty night just before Christmas, a very healthy sized crowd indeed have turned out to White Hart Lane to pay their tributes tonight. It's all about this man, Peter Shilton, 125 caps for England, a world record, and an unbelievable 915 league appearances in a career which started the best part of a quarter of a century ago when he was just 16 years of age and made his debut for Leicester City. Shilton so good even then that they could afford to sell Leicester the great Gordon Banks. And he's getting a fantastic ovation from the fans at White Hart Lane as he goes to take his place in goal for England for the very last time. So let's take a check on the sides here tonight. This is the Italia 90-11, the World Cup team managed by Franz Beckenbauer, with Cameroon's very experienced Thomas Nkono in goal. In the defence, the equally experienced Eric Herretz of Belgium, Kent Nielsen of Aston Villa, familiar figure in the Football League, Steve Staunton of Liverpool and the Republic of Ireland, and Argentina's World Cup final appearing player, Nestor Lorenzo, wearing number 3. In midfield, Mijatovic there at number 6 was actually married yesterday, would you believe? Michel Platini, the great Platini, returns to football wearing number 10, just for Shilton, and George Hagi of Real Madrid and Romania in number 11. And the forwards, Hernan Medford, the speedy Costa Rican winner, Carlos Valderrama, the flame-haired Colombian, and the sensation of the World Cup from the Cameroons, Roger Milla. And a look at the substitutes, Janate there of Turkey, good forward, Ronald Gonzalez from Costa Rica, and Ozzy Ardiles wearing number 17 back at White Hart Lane. Great to see him here as well. The England 11, Peter Shilton, of course, in goal. The defenders, Viv Anderson, Des Walker, Brian Robson playing sweeper, we understand, tonight, Terry Butcher. Then David Platt, Paul Gascoigne and Chris Waddle, great midfield that. More or less a full-strength England side. Matthew Le Tissier coming in, uncapped, of course, Gary Lineker wearing 10, and Tony Daly wearing number 11. Daly and Le Tissier, it'll be interesting to see how they dovetail in tonight. Kevin Keegan, 8 years on from his last England appearance, is out of retirement to play as a sub. And then Paul Allen and Paul Welsh of Spurs. David Seaman will be Shilton's replacement later on. And there is Michel Platini back in a blue number 10 shirt tonight, the master of those deceptive free kicks who dazzled the world in the late 70s and early 80s. He's now 35 and leading a French revival as national team manager. Shilton is going to have to watch out for those free kicks tonight. And there's Gary Lineker. He is, of course, here to help his mate tonight, but the England captain has come in for a cash windfall of his own this week. FIFA have just given him a fair play award worth £17,000. Lineker never booked or sent off, a quite amazing record. And our referee tonight, the familiar figure, Britain's best, George Courtney from Spennymoor in County Durham. And there's Kevin Keegan. We don't see too much of him, do we, these days? He hasn't appeared in an England shirt since the World Cup of '82, but he's back tonight. Look forward to see him later on. So the Italia 90 side wearing a blue strip tonight. You can see Carlos Valderrama and Roger Milla. Let's give a big kick about before the game gets underway. There's Carlos Valderrama, no mistaking him. That orange hair, I think he's dyed it again since the World Cup. It's a kind of blonde number now, but he's a lovely player, as well as winning a few fashion stakes as well. Peter Shilton then starting his last game in an England shirt. This is Georges Hagi of Real Madrid. And it's great to see these world-renowned players performing on a British stage. Of course, British fans have been rather starved of top-class international football, what with the European ban in recent years. Here's Terry Butcher. Viv Anderson. And Gaza. Paul Gascoigne. Of course, the White Hart Lane fans absolutely adore him. There is, of course, a serious side tonight for England. There's a chance for Graham Taylor, the England manager, to have a look at how Brian Robson will perform in defence. It might be the longer-term future for him. Roger Miller and Platini, look at that. Lovely little first-time touch. He may be a manager these days, but he's still got the touches quite obviously. Here's Gascoigne. Wearing the unfamiliar number 3 shirt. That looked as if it went out of play. Ref lets it go on, away by Nestor Lorenzo. Nestor Lorenzo signed by Swindon for £400,000. They've just settled the fee on that, although he's been playing in the second division for them for a little while. And here he is again. Gives it away though, Gascoigne. Turning on a bit of the old razzle-dazzle. Platini getting it away. There's Gaza. Some people feel that his off-the-pitch activities might get in the way of what might be an outstanding career. But it's not doing him too much harm so far. That ball through to Miller. Well, he'd have to be a greyhound to get that one. Likes it to feet. 38 years old, of course, Roger Miller. Here's Waddle, looking this long for the pacey Tony Daly. Daly rather falling over himself. Tony Daly, no caps yet for England, but many people feel that it's only a matter of time if he continues to turn it on in the first division with Aston Villa. Kent Nielsen getting in a bit of spot of bother, and here's Daly now. Gascoigne with a chance, Platini's in there, and Platini denies Gascoigne. Generation gap stuff, that. Now here's Hagi of Romania, threading this one through, looking for Mijatovic. Here's Brian Robson, good to see him restored to fitness. Sub for Manchester United last week. Robson looking to hit this one long, aimed towards Gary Lineker. And it might just be a testimonial match, but Nestor Lorenzo certainly wasn't Lineker getting away from him. Goal kick to the Italia 90-11. Tell you what we're going to do, no score so far. Let's go down to the bench. We can talk to the England manager, Graham Taylor.
Well, Graham, how important or seriously you're taking the game tonight?
Well, I think everybody has to recognise it's as much an exhibition game, but an exhibition game's got to be played at the right kind of pace to entertain the people who've paid very good money to watch it. So it will be taken seriously to that extent, but it would be silly to suggest that it's the be-all and end-all.
Brian Robson in the back four, pointed to the future perhaps?
Well, that's just a question of having a look at everything, isn't it? And Brian has played a number of games now in a short period of time of his build-up to full match fitness, so it's just something we're looking at, but it gives a group of lads a chance to get together again, doesn't it? And also world-class players from other countries, so it's very good for all of the people who have come to watch the game.
Graham, many thanks for joining us. Now back to Ian Dark.
Thank you, Gary and Graham. This is Georges Hagi. £2 million signing for Real Madrid, trying his luck with the right foot. And Shilton makes his first important save of the night. About the 4,327th, I would imagine, of his career. Terry Butcher, now the player manager, of course, of Coventry City. To Lineker. Lineker wide to Matt Le Tissier of Southampton. A few eyes will be on him. Chance for him to play with a lot of the fully fledged England squad, of course. Been in the under-21 so far. Here's Terry Butcher. Looks to hit this one long. David Platt is there. Nobody there for the knockdown except Platini, who still strolls around in that familiar fashion of his. Always seems to have so much time. Now Nesta Lorenzo getting forward. Looking to find Roger Miller. I don't think Miller's really had a serious touch so far. Platt certainly has. So is Gascoigne, and he's getting on to the end of this one, but Steve Staunton is there. Steve Staunton of Liverpool, drafted into this game late. Here's Kent Nielsen feeding Staunton. Now Platini. And Valderrama. Nesta Lorenzo, who's been finding out the realities of life in the English second division under Ozzy Ardiles' management at Swindon. Now this is Mijatovic, the newlywed, to Miller. What's he going to conjure up from here? Haji. Oh, that's nice. Looking to feed Janet, the Turkish international, coming through from the back. Now here's Robson. 34 years of age now, such a splendid servant, but I wonder if he'll win any more full England caps. Depends how well he comes back from this long-term injury, of course. He needs all the matches he can get. Now here's Valderrama feeding Miller. Haji. Again, trying his luck with the left foot. Haji hasn't been a huge success yet with Real Madrid since his move from Steaua Bucharest. He's been a little bit on the inconsistent side and was dropped from the side, in fact, last weekend, and Real Madrid actually lost without him, so he may be back this time. 55 caps for Romania. Yeah. Here he is again, much involved in the early stages. Platini with a uncharacteristic careless ball gives England the chance to maybe create something with Daly. Good run from Daly. Lineker's there on the far post. Le Tissier was there as well. They were all waiting and queuing up. Platt trying to go through, and the referee's given the penalty for that. Well, I don't know if George Courtney would have given that had it been a full international. Let's have a look at it again. Platt going through, and it goes down under the challenge from Kent Nielsen. Was that a penalty? Doesn't matter what we think. Referee says yes. Here's Gary Lineker, and he does exactly what he did at the World Cup against Thomas and Kono twice, and puts the England 11 1-0 up after 9 minutes. A familiar goal scorer, Lineker, and in familiar fashion as well. Penalty. And that will have brought back some horrible memories for Kono of the World Cup quarter-final when Lineker scored twice from the penalty spot for England against Cameroon. I was kind of wondering whether they might let Peter Shilton take the penalty there, but no, they seem to be playing it seriously enough, and Graham Taylor telling us earlier on that he wants this game played at some kind of pace to give proper value to the fans who've turned out on this cold night, and I think that's absolutely justifiable too. Because football really is no fun if it's played at too much of a stroll. Now here's Valderrama. Good ball out to Haji on the left foot. Walker covering well, and now here's Le Tissier, showing his dribbling skills. Daly, the two new boys misreading each other there, but England have got away with it and have the chance to build again. Platini. Bit ambitious. Bit of ring rust possibly for Platini. Not getting his passing together quite right so far. Now here's Lineker again. So there's Gary Lineker, the fairest player in the world at the moment, according to FIFA, and a goal scorer already tonight. Aji out to Valderrama. Des Walker so quickly across to cover. Valderrama, who plays his football for Montpellier, who've been drawn against Manchester United in the next round of the Cup Winners' Cup. So a little chance for Brian Robson to assess the way he's playing perhaps tonight. Mijatovic. Falls. Oh, that was the Jeanette Turman. The Turkish striker in Shilton was there. First shot blocked, it comes out again. Here's Jeanette, and Schultz does it again. Miller. Well intercepted by Viv Anderson, and England have the chance here. It's 3 against 2 at the moment. Waddle on the break, looking to find Lineker. Cut out by Steve Staunton. Looks like a good crowd tonight. Peter Shilton's had plenty of publicity for this testimonial match, and that seems to have paid off. And let's hope he makes a bundle of money out of it. Great servant, and he's been in good form already. Here's Platini. That's a nice-looking ball. Spinning it wide, but maybe just a little bit too long, and Tony Daly's back. Here's Chris Waddle. Back to Terry Butcher. Now Valderrama in lots and lots of space. Colombian. Oh, that's a good-looking ball aimed at Jeanette. Can he keep it in? Not quite. England goal kick. Here's Daly. Good tackle by Kent Nielsen. The two Villa men together there. England leading by a goal to nil. Gary Lineker with a penalty. Gascoigne to Waddle. Looking to draw this back. Here's Letitia. Oh, what a save from Nkono, with Letitia on the rebound. And George Courtney has given it. There was a suspicion of offside, I must say, about that somewhere, and Kono's protesting about it. Here it is again. Waddle's cross. Letitia coming through, playing that 1-2 with Viv Anderson, who looked miles offside, I must say, but it comes back to Letitia and he puts it away. And the World 11 might have a few complaints about both the goals so far. The penalty was a great save that by Nkono before Letitia put it in, but dubious. There's the score, England 11-2, the Italia 90 side 0, and only quarter of an hour gone. Matthew Letitia then on the score sheet, playing with the senior men tonight. This is nice from England. Here's Letitia again. Platt is there. Oh, that could have been number 3. And Kono's positioning was good. World 11 being managed tonight by the great Franz Beckenbauer. Why don't we have a chat with him? He's with Gary Bloom.
Well, Franz, first of all, I imagine you're very, very keen to come over here. Say all the best to Peter Shilton.
Yes, of course. When Peter asked me to come in his farewell game, 2 months ago. He came to Marseille and asked me to be part of this. I said, of course. And I'm very proud because of the invitation. Because he's a great man. He's a nice gentleman. He was the best goalkeeper in the history of the sport.
Why was he such a great goalkeeper for England?
I mean, the class. He played 20 years international-wise, and he was 20 years high-class playing, world-class playing. So that makes him to the standard.
Franz, many thanks for joining us. Enjoy the game. Let's go back to Ian now.
And great to see him here. Now here's Roger Miller. He's another man we're proud to see on an English pitch. So popular at the World Cup, of course. Peter Shilton, another clean sheet so far. Now here's Lineker. Just listening to Franz Beckenbauer there. Of course, he's having a few problems with his new club Marseille. Not getting on too well with the chairman Bernard Tapie, and saying he might leave Marseille in the near future. We'll have to see how that one develops. He can put those troubles behind him tonight in the relatively relaxed atmosphere of White Hart Lane. Didn't look too happy, did he, when we went to him with the World 11 2-0 down. Here's Valderrama. Now Platini, when he's not managing the French national team, is a male model for an Italian fashion house. Now here's Janate, the Turkish international. Roger Miller thought he was going to hit it on the volley. Platini! Oh, and Shilton does it again! Well, they couldn't have choreographed this better, because Shilton there made a fantastic save from Platini, who really got hold of it. This is it again. Comes out to the French manager, and he hit that in the way he used to, and Shilton, brilliant. Well, Shilton so far has made a couple of world-class saves, as if to underline all his talent down the years. Steve Staunton of Liverpool, getting one or two boos from the Tottenham fans. Couldn't explain why, other than the fact that he plays for Liverpool. Des Walker. Here's Viv Anderson, big friend of Shilton's, and Terry Butcher. Well, they all are, really. He's such a popular player with the rest of the side. This is Mijatovic, Partizan Belgrade player. Valderrama. Janate and Miller. World 11 knocking it around quite pleasingly, but getting nowhere fast just at the moment. Now Mijatovic. Now Staunton, who seems to be the boo boy of the crowd. We can do without that really on a night like this. Miller. Platini. It's nice again from Platini. Mijatovic keeps possession of it. Janate there was making a breakthrough. And the World 11 might have sneaked one by now if it hadn't been for Shilton and one or two misplaced passes. Waddle, good-looking ball through. Lineker was there, but couldn't quite control it. Now here's Valderrama. That shock of blonde orange hair. Here he is again. Haji. Miller looking for some space. Platini feeding Steve Staunton. Platini much involved. Still only 35, by the way. That looked like a foul by Butcher, but George Courtney says no. Now Gascoigne to Lineker. He's got Letitia there, and he's got Daly in the middle as well. Well, he tried a bit of the exhibition stuff. I don't think you'd have seen Lineker trying that in the first division with Tottenham Hotspur over Saturday. Here's Chris Waddle. Gascoigne again, revelling in the space he's allowed on a night such as this. Platt, back to Robson, to Anderson. Manchester United men playing keep ball for a moment, now Gascoigne. Here's Gaza. Through to Robson, who's got some space to hit one here. With the left foot, tries one of those familiar curlers. Not on target this time. It's good match practice tonight for Robson. Chance to get back some of his sharpness. Another chance to see it. He had all the time in the world, really. Maybe in a couple of matches' time, he'll get it right. Well, this is David Platt. Breaking quickly, beating his Villa colleague Tony Daly. Now Gascoigne. Waddle. And Eric Herretz somewhere in there, the man with 80 caps for Belgium, 36 years of age, clears it up. But England still building. Gascoigne again. Oh, room here for Platt. And Nkono with the save. That could have been number 3. Gascoigne's through ball. Platt with a surprising amount of space, but Nkono had narrowed the angle well. So England still leading 2-0, looking for a third though. Waddle, it's blocked by Miller, but only as far as Letitia. And the cross, Lineker is in there, Anderson's there as well, is still not away. Across the face of the goal by Terry Butcher. And the World 11 happy to concede the corner. 25 minutes gone. England leading the World 11 by 2-0 and with a corner which Gascoigne will take on that left side. No problems for Nkono. Still being barracked by the crowd to Valderrama. Keeping that in for Herretz. Jeannette, not a good ball from him. And there's Peter Shilton, the great Peter Shilton, 41. That's incredible, really, isn't it? Still playing at that age in the First Division, 125 England caps, and just think, when he made his Leicester debut, Paul Gascoigne hadn't even been born. To say they're a little bit casual. Robbed and Platini. He's got Valderrama there on the overlap on the right. Miller coming short for it, drops for Platini. Are we going to see a golden strike from him? Knocks that through again, it's still not away. Butcher clears. Some good defensive work in there as well from Brian Robson. This is Herretz with the throw. Terry Butcher finding out about the tough side of life as a manager with Coventry. And there's Gascoigne. Waddle. Getting that one long, cool as you like, from Nesta Lorenzo. I must say, it looks like Ozzy Ardiles has made a pretty shrewd signing in this fellow here, Lorenzo. We may see Ozzy Ardiles a bit later on as well. He's one of the substitutes for the World 11 tonight. He'll get a great reception if he steps out here at White Hart Lane, as I'm sure he will. Staunton. Poor old Steve Staunton. He must wonder what he's done wrong. Haji. Platini, who's really taking the eye now in the middle of the field there. Valderrama. Haji gives the ball away to Waddle. And England have the chance to break here, 3 against 2. Letitia, he's got Lineker and Daly up there with him. chance to find Daly, but England still have possession. Platt feeds Lineker. Pulled back, Letizier's there. Harris, just very, very experienced. Very cool, gets it away under pressure from Daly. Here's Valderrama again. Staunton, Miller, he's given offside. Big broad smile, lovely smile. There's Ozzy Ardiles, 38 years of age now, 7 years since he was in Tottenham's cup winning side. 9 years it is, let's get it right. Valderrama again. Letizier, and Gascoigne is free and away. He's got Lineker up there with him. Gascoigne, oh! Well, he only had to feed Lineker and it was a goal. But Gaza wanted a bit of the glory himself. And on a night like this, well, you might say, why not? Here he is, he's clear. Lineker just out of picture. It was an easy goal if he'd knocked it to his side, but he tried the shot and wide. And now you get a better angle on it. You can see where Lineker is. It only wanted knocking sideways, but Gascoigne wanted the glory. He didn't get it. England again. Here's Viv Anderson. Furious with himself for getting that wrong. Platini. Here's Walker. Very rarely puts a foot wrong. How he's transformed the England defence. Staunton finds Haji, and Haji to Valderrama with chance to maybe tee up the shot. Here's Miller, is he going to get one? Over elaborated. And Shilton once more with the ball in his hands. But the World 11 really could very easily have had one, maybe two by now. Entertaining game though, and I think the crowd are enjoying it. I hear unofficially that the crowd is over 12,000, very healthy indeed, just before Christmas, when people might find money a little on the tight side. And it is not the most welcoming of nights, it's very cold. Here's Terry Butcher. And Matthew Letizier, Channel Islander with so much talent. Gascoigne gives the impression that he really loves these exhibition matches. Platt, back to Des Walker. Bit tight for Viv Anderson. .32 minutes gone on my watch. England 2, World 11 0 in Peter Shilton's big night here at White Hart Lane. Valderrama revelling in a slightly less competitive atmosphere than usual in the middle of the pitch. There's a bit more space for the midfield players to play than you get in a, say, first division match or a proper, fully fledged international. Haji, who has this passion for Mercedes cars, so I'm led to understand, even had one under the Ceausescu regime in Romania, where he was one of the chosen sons a little. Here he is again, Haji. He's dangerous on that left foot, he might let one go, and he does, it gets a deflection. Corner. Well, he's a top-class player, Haji, so dangerous in this situation. That took a deflection. Miller with the corner. Haji again. And here's Platini. What's he going to do? Oh, lovely through ball to Herretz. Can he keep it in? Not quite. Idea was great. There's Platini, 72 caps he won for France, scoring 41 goals. Now, Gary Lineker, another ace goal scorer on the ball now for the England team. Here's David Platt. He's got Daly wide, finds him cleverly. Viv Anderson up in support. It's Daly again. Staunton gets in the way of it. England still have it. No, they don't. There's Valderrama coming away now for Beckenbauer's team. Platini again, who must be enjoying this. He wouldn't have enjoyed that. He must be enjoying the night. This little ball for Gascoigne. It's a nice turn, but Kent Nielsen had read it. Daly dispossesses Valderrama. This is a good run from Letizier. Oh, that's clever, and it wasn't far away. Now that really was nice from the Southampton youngster. Great change of pace from him here, and look how he improvises here with a narrow angle. And as that happens, the half-time whistle goes with England leading the World 11 2-0. Shilton's had a great first half, a couple of vital saves from him. Acrobatic as ever, even at 41. The goals, Lineker with a penalty and Letizier with a suspiciously looking offside goal for the second. England leading 2-0. We promised Kevin Keegan in the second half. Join us after the break. And in picture there, three men who between them have won 339 international caps at Peter Shilton's testimonial night here. Shilton in the middle, of course. Franz Beckenbauer, the world manager of the year, who led West Germany to the World Cup. And alongside them, Bobby Moore. Of course, England's World Cup winning captain in 1966. Of course, that was the year that Beckenbauer first made his name. What a great picture that is for the photographers from Fleet Street, or Wapping as it is these days. Bobby Moore and Franz Beckenbauer. You don't get names much bigger than that in world football, saying their thank you to Peter Shilton. So Shilton, one great goalkeeper, another one is watching on the sidelines. Ray Clements, he's with Gary Bloom.
Well, Ray, you roomed with Peter Shilton, rather, during your time together in the England team. What sort of guy was he?
Obviously, everybody knows about how professional he is and what a good goalkeeper he is, but he was, for us to room together for sort of 7 or 8 years, he's got to be a decent lad as well, and he likes to laugh and a joke at the right time, and the only thing that I missed really was I stopped having to make his tea and give him his breakfast in bed when he was playing. I think that was the thing that he always used to like me to do to him.
Did you get on well together? Because you were great rivals for that number 1 jersey, weren't you?
Nobody could believe we got on as well as we did, but we always did. Whichever one of us was playing, the other one helped as much as they could, and we just did the best we could in our league, respective league games, and let the managers decide on who was the best.
Many thanks, Ray.
Pleasure.
Underway then in the second half with the England 11, of course, in the white shirts, leading by 2-0. Good to hear that Ray Clements and Peter Shilton were really mates all those years when they had to swap the England jersey in the Ron Greenwood reign. I wonder who'll be making breakfast in bed for Peter Shilton when he retires. Viv Anderson with the throw-in. Now Letizier. Looks like the World 11 have got Hernan Mitford of Costa Rica on the pitch. And Ozzy Ardiles is in there as well. Ardiles back at White Hart Lane. And the crowd have just picked that up, and it'll be great to see him. Ardiles, who graced this turf for Tottenham. Such a popular figure here. But England with a chance maybe to create something. Lineker's in the middle, but Nesta Lorenzo has had a fine match, gets that away, the Argentinian. There's Ozzy Ardiles, he's 38 now. Remember that old pop song about him, about his legs going all trembly when he went to Wembley? Yes, he even made the charts, just like Gazza. I suppose the dream ticket really would be a midfield of Hoddle, Ardiles and Gascoigne. How the Tottenham fans here at White Hart Lane would have loved to see that tonight. Well, they've got two of them, albeit on opposite sides. Here's Nesta Lorenzo, and here's Ozzy Ardiles. Still looks as trim as ever, too. Lorenzo trying to find Hernan Medford. Now Tony Daly does well to keep it in the end. Gascoigne. Robson. It's a nice looking run from Letizier. Letizier trying to thread his way through. Platt. Quite an urgent, energetic look about this England 11. Waddle playing in this strange withdrawn number 3 position on the left side. Oh, that's nice. And there's a chance for Platt. It's saved by Pat Bonner, who's come on in goal for the second half, replacing Nkono. Pat Bonner, the Republic of Ireland keeper, of course, who had such a fine World Cup. Now Valderrama. Naeem. Tottenham, who's come on as well. Shilton gets his first touch of the second half. Now here's the chance for Platt at the other end. Only had Bonner to beat, but Bonner, with his first touch of the ball, made a really fine save. Gary Lineker. Lineker robbed, and Ardiles brings it away at White Hart Lane to Naeem. Now George Haji. Out wide to Mijatovic, and this is a bit of a chance for Medford, but he's offside. So a couple of Tottenham players have come on for the World 11. We'll show you them in a minute. Naeem and Gudni Bergson of Iceland. Now here's Gascoigne. I must say Gascoigne looks a good deal slimmer these days. And relatively sharper because of it too. Here's Nesta Lorenzo now for the World 11. Des Walker, for once miscontrolling things, giving Haji the chance to maybe bite at something. But Walker, in characteristic fashion, makes amends. Haji, policed by Brian Robson, and Robson in his defensive role did well there. There's Naeem, Spanish under-21 international, who's fitted in well at White Hart Lane, brought over by Terry Venables. He's wearing number 13 this second half. Good run by Mijatovic. Gudni Bergson, the Icelandic international right fullback, also with Tottenham Hotspur, he's come on as well. Here's Gascoigne, who has the freedom of White Hart Lane tonight. We even had his hit single during the half-time break. You may or may not be glad that you missed that. Now Platt. Lineker drifting wide. Cross from Platt. Lineker just didn't quite get the right angle on his header. Valderrama. Ardiles. This is nice. Medford with the gloves on, trying to thread a way through. Not doing it. Shilton was there. Ball from Letizier out to Tony Daly. Viv Anderson nicely up in support. Gascoigne, he's on the left foot. This is going to be a Gaza goal. Oh, what about that? What about that from Paul Gascoigne? 3-0 one was almost worth the admission price alone. Look at this, shimmy this way and that. He scored a cracker at Manchester City on Saturday, and lovely goal. Marvellous stuff this from Gascoigne, a typical Gascoigne goal, and that's the kind of entertainment that the fans turned up expecting to see. As Butcher does a rescue act at the other end. England 11-3, the Italia 90 team 0. So Paul Gascoigne, an ex-Newcastle star, scoring that goal. Let's talk to another one, Kevin Keegan, before he comes on. He's with Gary Blue.
Well, Kevin, you have very fond memories of Paul Gascoigne in Newcastle days, haven't you?
Yeah, he's probably the worst boot boy anyone could have ever had. But he's done all right for himself, hasn't he? Didn't do him any harm. But yeah, he was my boot boy at Newcastle.
Do you play much football now, Kevin?
No, I'm a bit of more of a golfer now. You know, just looking at the pitch out there, you could get a nice wedge out there and play some golf shots. But I play occasionally. I've just been over to Canada to play in a Canadian team for British Week. But it's just a bit of fun now, you know, Sunday afternoon stuff.
Enjoying tonight?
Yeah, it's a good game. You know, some good skills there, and it's been played right. It's just a bit cold here watching. I'm hoping to get on shortly. You know, I'll keep looking at the boss, but he's, you know, 3-0 up. What can you do?
You're hoping to get on then?
Well, yeah, you know, rigor mortis is setting in here, like.
Kevin, many thanks.
Thank you.
Cheers.
That's the man he was talking about, Paul Gascoigne, ex-boot boy, but a long way from that these days. Somebody rather unkindly suggested the other day that Gascoigne could make a fortune for charity if he did a sponsored 24 hours without publicity. Not a bad idea, actually. Daly's offside here. Shouldn't really be too unkind to Gazza. It's not his fault that the newspapers want to write about him all the time. That's got a bit out of hand, possibly, you might think. Now, Lester Lorenzo. Out to Gudni Bergson, but he's robbed by Waddle. The predatory Lineker is in the middle. Waddle tries to find him. Lester Lorenzo read it well. Unusually in a World 11, we have two Swindon Town men on the pitch at the moment, Ardiles and Lester Lorenzo. That can't have happened too often, even in testimonials in the past. It's Gascoigne now. He's loving this. He's got his goal. He's been looking for it all night. He should have created another one for Lineker, actually, earlier on. He was a little bit greedy, Gascoigne. I think Terry Venables would have crowned him if it had been a Saturday. Here's Lineker again, though, and not even his pace can get to that one. Naeem bundled off it by Waddle. Play on, says the referee. Now Mijatovic, the Yugoslav, trying to find Medford. Waddle was having a nice game back there. Almost playing as a kind of left back tonight. Naeem to Mijatovic of Partizan Belgrade. Some people think he'd be the new Dragan Stojkovic in Yugoslavia. They've got so many good players in Yugoslavia at the moment, it's almost an embarrassment for them. Here's Haji trying to get the better of Des Walker and getting a free kick.
I'm sure you would like to judge your appreciation as he leaves the field.
He'll be just outside the box. So we've come to the moment in the game when Peter Shilton, after a quarter of a century in the First Division and with England, shakes hands with everyone. The crowd rise to him, leaves the pitch after an hour. This was choreographed beforehand, and he's getting a tremendous ovation. And tonight he's produced a couple of typical world-class Shilton-style saves. Out of the centre of the pitch, he applauds the fans who've turned out for him. They paid their tribute, and Shilton heads out of the England scene for the very last time. And coming on will be David Seaman.
Well, Peter, how does it feel? You've just closed the chapter on an incredible international career.
Well, I feel a bit sad, obviously.
Where are the tears?
A little bit emotional. Well, they'll probably be later on, actually. No, I mean, I'm sad, but tonight's turnout and the way everybody's been, I mean, it's fantastic. A week before Christmas, to turn out a crowd like this, it's made my evening, and you know, something I'll remember for the rest of my life. So tremendous.
Great turnout for some of the players on the Italia 90 side.
Yeah, I mean, they've come all the way, week before Christmas, like I say. They've travelled, no charge or anything, and they've given the time, and they've put on some great football. And the England lads as well. The England lads there, they didn't want me to lose the goal. I mean, they could have took it easy, but they knew that I, you know, wanted to try and keep a clean sheet. But it was great. I mean, fantastic. I'd just like to thank everybody that's involved with it, because it's taken a lot of hard work, and all the spectators have been brilliant. Thanks.
Thanks, Peter.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
An emotional Peter Shilton. Well done, Shilts. And thanks for a lot of memories. And a great England keeper. And he's still got Derby County in his racehorses as well. Now, Valderrama here. Is he going to get one for the World 11? Stumbles over himself. Wants an eternity. Naeem! Well, that was not the best finish by the Spurs midfield player. It was a good chance. David Seaman has come on. Seaman, who went to the World Cup as the number 3 and broke a finger in training and had to go home and be replaced by Dave Besant. Now plays for Arsenal, which might not make him the most popular figure at White Hart Lane. Terry Butcher. That was a revelation, of course, at the World Cup himself. And Waddle turning on the old razzle dazzle now. That's a gain for Lineker. Now here's George Haji. He's got Staunton on the overlap if he wants to use him. Elects not to. Staunton looks a bit disgusted about it. Instead he goes right and finds Naeem. Naeem looks for Valderrama. Chris Waddle is back there again. Watch out, Stuart Pearce. No, I'm only joking. Here's Letitia. And some of the play just getting a little on the casual side at the moment. It's always understandable, of course, in a game of this nature, a testimonial. Players, though, have tried hard, and commendably hard too, to keep a competitive edge to it. But of course it isn't quite the same when the stakes are comparatively low. Brian Robson. Tony Daly. Very cold night indeed as Daly going round in circles. Valderrama now for the World 11. Naeem, Valderrama again. He's got the chance if he can turn, but Des Walker polices him out of it. Kevin Keegan, 8 years after the 1982 World Cup, when he last appeared in an England shirt as a sub against Spain, on he comes. 39 years of age now, 63 caps. Former European Footballer of the Year. I think our caption might have aged him by 10 years there. Never mind, he's 39. Medford. Back towards the far post. Timely interception from Walker. Well, we hear that Keegan's a bit more of a a golfer than a footballer these days. Let's see what he's got left. Here's Naeem with a chance. And Medford was in there again. And Butcher, as cool as you like, back to Seaman. The England 11 still leading by 3 goals to 0. And here's Kevin Keegan. A little bit heavier around the waistline as Walsh, who also came on as a sub just now, out of shot. He's still very much active. And Keegan, with his first touch, almost helped to set up Welsh for a goal. Here's Letitia. Now Staunton. Almost got on the end of that one. The World 11 bring it away. Good Naeem. Now Mijatovic wanted too much time. Free kick. World 11 with a free kick then, 30 yards out. Quarter of an hour to go. England 11 leading by 3 goals to 0. Ardiles is there. Haji's there again. And Mijatovic tries it. No problems for Seaman. Here it is again. They could do with Platini on, couldn't they, for those? Gascoigne, Tissier, Paul Walsh, Platts up there, Nesta Lorenzo cleans it up. Medford, the Costa Rican winger. Nesta Lorenzo out to Steve Staunton. Liverpool fullback barracked throughout the game. Oh, and here's a chance for Gonzalez. The Costa Rican, again, they overcomplicate it. They really have wasted an awful lot of chances. We could have had more goals than we've had, to be honest with you. Here's Gascoigne. That's offside. Miles offside by Letitia.
What's the score?
Franz Beckenbauer. Not often his side's are 3-0 down. George Haji. And Waddle getting back well again. He's enjoying himself in that left-back slot. Kevin Keegan. Amazing to think that Kevin Keegan was transferred from Scunthorpe to Liverpool for only £30,000. Must be one of the bargains of the century. There he is. He's starting to enjoy it, I think. And there's his ex-manager at Southampton, Laurie McMenemy. They'll have a good laugh about this later on tonight, I'm sure. And a drink or two, I wouldn't bet. I think we all need one. It's a cold old night here at White Hart Lane. But over 12,000 have turned up for Peter Shilton's testimonial. Here's Naeem. Chris Waddle bringing it away again. It's a good ball. Paul Walsh. Good foot from the Spurs striker. Well, he's been a super sub for Spurs this season, and he was almost a super sub for the England 11. Here's Walsh again. Had the angle. Good save, though. corner wasn't so special from Walsh. Went behind. With the crowd in need of a cocoa or something like that, Nesta Lorenzo builds up again. Maybe something stronger than a cocoa. Staunton. It's a bit of a hopeful ball. Des Walker, though, gives it back. Gonzalez. Butcher. Steady as ever. And Keegan. That old zip about him again. Back to Letitia. Old and new Southampton linking up there. Letitia and Keegan. It's going to be a free kick. So who's going to take this? And Keegan there just pushed Gascoigne out the way. Says, now you have enough free kicks of a season. I don't play anymore. I'm going to have a go. Keegan does take it, beats it out wide. Gascoigne does his boots up by way of a protest. Oh, this could be a chance again here. Drops out for Platt. Haji and Waddle in a bear hug. Into the last 10 minutes now. And Naeem with space. And this could be one for the World 11 League. Well, it would have been, except for the fact that Mijatovic was offside. They really have been caught offside umpteen times. Mijatovic was through. He finished the job, but the flag was up. Robson giving it away. And Medford there, running it out of play. Des Walker to Gascoigne. Players just easing off, you feel now. Seaman again in the perfect position to field that one from Gonzalez. Now here's Chris Waddle. Crowd would like, I think, another couple of goals from this England team just to cap their night. Waddle out to Gascoigne. He's got some space here. What's he going to do? Pulls it back, and Keegan scored! Keegan has scored! Oh! It was a good goal, too. Sharp as you like from Kevin Keegan. He might be 39. He might be better on the golf course these days. But this wasn't bad, was it? I think the crowd really liked that. Keegan there, coming back like a ghost from the past there. Sharp run towards the near post, lost the defender and buried it. Oh, that was wonderful. Oh, I think we're getting our money's worth here. 4-0. And Laurie McMenamin saying, come on, off you come now. You've got your goal, Kevin. Here's Gonzalez. Haji. And the World 11 still can't get even one. Paul Walsh. Keegan again. Good through ball too to Gascoigne. But he was offside. Keegan there trying to return the compliment. Keegan studiously ignoring Laurie McMenamin's signals from the bench. Haji again trying to get onto his left foot. Bundled out of it, according to George Courtney, and that'll be a free kick. 20 yards out. Interesting position. As I said before, it's a pity that Michel Platini's not still on the pitch, because I'd love to have seen him with one of his deceptive bends from this range. Again, it's wasted, completely wasted by Gonzalez this time. Walsh. Good ball. Out to Keegan. On the goal scorer's sheet tonight. Now Walsh. Good move. Keegan was there on the near post. That looked like a handball from Letitia. And it was. This time, George Courtney gives it. Here's the cross from Walsh, and I think you'll see Letitia's hand go out. There it is. Still finished it quite nicely, even though Keegan was miles offside anyway, so you can pay your money and take your choice there about how you disallow that one. Here's Naeem. Ozzy Ardiles, who's been quietly effective since he came on. And it's not been a bad old night here at White Hart Lane. We've had one super goal from Gascoigne, and a sentimental one from Kevin Keegan. And when Peter Shilton, the man we're here to honour, was on the pitch, a couple of really lovely saves from him. 4-0 to the England side. Letitia. Good ball. Paul Allen. Can he keep it in? He did well to get there, but Staunton was across. Allen there, typically tigerish, wins it back. Walsh. Paul Allen and Paul Walsh are quite enjoying this rare opportunity to appear in an England shirt. Been quite lively, the pair of them, since they came on, particularly Walsh. Here's Hernan Medford. This World 11 squad appearing here tonight, and it's a tribute to Shilton that they've turned out, have got over 500 caps between them. Here's Ronald Gonzalez of Costa Rica looking to find his teammate Hernan Medford. There's Michel Platini, now nicely wrapped up in his overcoat, having done his stuff earlier on, and to some effect, I can tell you. Closing minutes now on the World 11, looking for a consolation goal. Naeem. Haji on the left foot. That was nearer, well, it frightened the corner flag half to death, but certainly not Seaman. Mijatovic, good turn. Gudni Bergson. Medford. Bergson again, and Gonzalez dumps it into row 48 of the stand behind the goal. Had a few chances. This fell in the end to Gonzalez, but he wasted it. Into the last 3 or 4 minutes, Paul Allen. Keegan, Gascoigne, Keegan again. Has lost the old skills off the outside of the foot that time to Letitia. Waddle getting through a mountain of work. Good ball from him, looked it anyway, but Nesta Lorenzo was there. Here's Des Walker, back to Brian Robson, who hasn't had a lot to do back there. So no night really to assess how effective he might be as an England sweeper or defender in the future. But it's certainly a theory as to how he might be used, and Graham Taylor will have been all eyes, I'm sure. Hasn't done anything wrong, that's for certain. Here he is now, trying to police Mijatovic. Butcher cuts it out. That's a particularly bad ball from Gonzalez Well, it was aimed for Medford, but it was a proverbial mile away from him. So England have it again. The grey-haired, slightly more rotund Keegan. Here's Waddle. And it finds its target eventually, which is Paul Allen. Now Gascoigne. Now, here's Naeem. He's got Mijatovic up with him. This is he. Mijatovic, who's certainly got through an awful lot of work. He's been the mainspring of most things the World 11 have tried. But their finishing has been pretty awful, really. Peter Shilton, let me remind you, went off after an hour to a standing ovation. And David Seaman, his replacement's done well since he came on. And they've got an awful lot of people lining up here. Haji, Staunton's there. And Staunton takes it in the end. And that just about sums up the finishing by the side in the blue shirts tonight. There's Beckenbauer. Looking a bit cold, maybe having a glance at the watch. Platini's there as well. Roger Miller, who's come off too. As referee George Courtney blows his whistle to conclude the entertainment. And pretty good entertainment it's been too. Kevin Keegan and Ozzy Ardiles together, a couple of golden oldies. And Keegan giving us a little glimpse of the past with a sharply taken goal near the end. Great solo effort too from Paul Gascoigne. After Lineker with a penalty and Letitia had scored in the first half. Keegan's enjoyed himself. We've enjoyed ourselves too, and I'm sure more than anybody, and this is important of course, Peter Shilton enjoyed it. That's the full-time score then at White Hart Lane. England 11-4, the Italia 90 side 0. We'll meet some of the personalities when we rejoin you right after the break.
Welcome back to White Hart Lane. We're now in the England dressing room, and joining me now two great ex-players, Kevin Keegan and Michel Platini, both of whom play tonight. Michel, if I can ask you first of all, Kevin looks good enough to be playing still, doesn't he?
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Oui, fantastique.
Well, Kevin, how about Michel?
Michel est très bon. Il a une magnifique.
Oui, numéro 1. Je dirais qu'il a très bien joué. D'ailleurs, il a marqué un but.
Et français, numéro 1.
Well, in English now, Kevin. What about that header you scored?
Yeah, it was very nice. You know, it's lovely just to come back and play. I've not played for a long time, and it's lovely to see old friends, you know. I'd like to talk you through it on there. I closed my eyes. I can remember the ball going out wide. And, well, you know, I haven't played for a while, but the memory's still there, and I thought the lad on the ball might be able to give me a decent pass here. And fortunately he did, and I didn't see it. I'm seeing it for the first time now.
Oh, what a header.
Oh, it's not bad, yeah. It's better than I thought. I've got a headache, though, now.
What do you think of that one?
Oh, it was an important goal. It was the first.
Both of you, did you enjoy tonight?
Very much. As I say, it's a super tribute to Peter. I mean, he's been a tremendous professional. And then to see old friends is a bonus, and to play at a place like White Hart Lane again, and to score here again. You know, I used to love playing here with Liverpool.
And Michel, do you reckon that the French side that you're building now is anything like the one of the early 80s?
Oh, if you speak slowly, it's better for me. Yeah.
How is the French side now?
From 2 years we don't lose. We have 6 points in 3 matches for the European. We are a good team. I think that the French grow. We lose a great generation 4 years ago. All together. Out. And now we need to build a new team, and we try.
And Kevin, still feeling fit after that?
I'm pretty tired now, I must be honest. I was a bit disappointed the boss didn't put me on earlier, but now I feel glad he didn't. But I enjoyed it, and that's what it's all about, and I just hope the crowd did. They were tremendous. I thought it was a tremendous gate tonight.
OK. Kevin, Michel, many thanks for joining us.
Merci. Merci beaucoup.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the Peter Shilton testimonial game here at White Hart Lane. A reminder of the final score: England 11-4, the Italia 90 11-0. I'll leave you with a reminder of the goals from all of us here at White Hart Lane. Goodbye.
Good run from Daly. Lineker's there on the far post. Letitia was there as well. They were all waiting and queuing up. Black trying to go through, and the referee's given the penalty for that. And he does exactly what he did at the World Cup against Thomas and Kono twice. Gascoigne to Waddle. to brawl this back. Here's Letitia. Oh, what a save from Ancona with Letitia on the rebound. Viv Anderson nicely up in support. Gascoigne, he's on the left foot. This is going to be a Gaza goal. Oh, what about that? What about that from Paul Gascoigne? 3-0. Now here's Chris Waddle. Crowd would like, I think, another couple of goals from this England team just to cap their night. Waddle out to Gascoigne. He's got some space here. What's he going to do? Pulls it back, and Keegan scored! Keegan has scored! Oh! It was a good goal too.